Living creatures must adapt to the place and the environment that they live in. This means that they develop special features which help them to survive in their particular habitat.
In rock pools, animals and plants must cope with extreme conditions like being exposed to the hot sun when the tide is out, being dislodged by waves, and being exposed to different predators.
Today we are going to look at 3 plants and animals that you will find in Yorkshire rock pools and look at the adaptations that they use to help them survive in this extreme environment.
Shore crabs have a hard exoskeleton or shell that offers it protection from the pounding of waves when the tide comes back in. This also offers them protection from predators that want to eat them, like other crabs, fish and birds. Shore crabs vary considerably in colour, from greens to reds, and this is dependent on where they are found, to better blend in with their surroundings. This particular shore crab is green in colour to camouflage against the seaweed, making it difficult for predators to find them. Sometimes you will find a crab with a missing claw or leg. This is usually an escape strategy where they can drop their limbs if a predator has got hold of them and escape. They also have the amazing ability to regrow these missing limbs.
Another common animal you will find in rock pools are limpets.
The bottom of a limpet is called a foot, and it can stick to rocks using a sticky substance. This is so they don't get eaten by predators, dislodged from rocks by waves, and means they can capture a bubble of seawater within the shell, which enables the creature to breathe whilst exposed. The limpet will stay safe, firmly attached to its rock when the tide is out. But when the tide comes back in and they are covered in water again, they actually move around freely to feed on algae. They feed using a rough, raspy tongue called a radula to scrape the algae, and you can sometimes find these markings on rocks. When the tide eventually goes back out, the limpet finds its way back to exactly the same spot and position as before. Scientists aren't exactly sure how they do this though. This spot is called a home scar, and over time the limpet will keep grinding down to the rock to get a perfect fit.
It's not just creatures that have adapted to live in rock pools, but plants as well. They have developed special adaptations which help them to survive in these extreme conditions.
This seaweed is called bladderwrack. Like the limpet, it needs to attach itself to rocks using a root system called a holdfast to stop it being washed away. As you can see, it is covered in bubbles which make it look and sound a bit like bubble wrap. These bubbles are pockets of air which help the seaweed to float when it is covered in water. This allows the plant to be closer to the sunlight, allowing it to photosynthesize to make its food. Now that you have learnt more about the ways which animals and plants have had to adapt to live in rock pools, why not design your own animal and explain how it has adapted to live in its particular habitat?